You've got this unspeakable horror. Whoever had done this, the killer had basically shot everything moving. You've got these two small children, a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, huddling together in a room to be able to remain safe until they were sure that there were no more shots coming.
On May 16, 2017, a Walterboro man who goes by the nickname Rambo arrives in a Colleton County parking lot to smoke marijuana and discuss the possibility of a big purchase of pot from Philip Miller, who grows weed in his home in Ruffin. Rambo and Miller are strangers but have a mutual acquaintance who helps them connect over the phone to arrange the meeting. They rendezvous in the parking lot of a local strip mall. Rambo gets into Miller's car. He samples Miller's product and the two agree that Rambo should follow Miller back to his house to make a purchase. Rambo gets back into the back seat of the vehicle he arrived in, a light blue sedan owned and driven by a female companion. She's been waiting for him, along with Rambo's girlfriend, who sits in the front passenger seat. Arriving at his house, Miller sends Rambo a text to tell him where to park. Rambo gets out of the car and goes to the front porch. Moments later, Rambo begins showering the home with gunfire from a 9mm pistol. He shoots and kills 46-year-old Philip Miller in the front doorway, then kills Miller's 52-year-old wife Lori, who falls dead in the home's hallway. Then he shoots down the Miller's 13-year-old son Vincent in the front yard as he tries to run from the house. Rambo also shoots another child, a 9-year-old relative of the Millers who is staying with them. But this victim doesn't die. She runs to an interior closet, hides with a 5-year-old relative, and telephones for help.
How could someone be so cruel? How do you kill 3 people? How do you shoot a little girl?
Colleton County Sheriff's Office deputies arrive to the scene of the brutal triple murder. The South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division assists in the investigation. They find 10 9mm shell casings scattered throughout the premises. They also get their first big break in the case when they open Philip Miller's cell phone. That's when they discover the lengthy text exchange between Miller and Rambo, which includes the meeting location. Rambo also describes his own physical appearance and describes the light blue sedan he will be taking to their meetup, as well as instructions on where to park when Rambo's party arrives at Miller's home. The information helps investigators not only know where to look for additional clues and eyewitnesses, they now also have a good idea about Rambo's true identity. He is Kenneth Mar'Keith Chisolm, a 19-year-old Walterboro resident well known to authorities and believed to be involved in gang activity. Chisolm faces 3 murder charges, along with 1 charge each of attempted murder and burglary. In an interview with authorities, Kenneth Chisolm admits meeting with Philip Miller, but denies going back to his house. He claims he has nothing to do with the triple murder. Tameaka Legette of the 14th Circuit Solicitor's Office prosecutes the case.
Of course, yes, he initially denied being there, denied any involvement with our victim.
Legette and investigators can refute Chisolm's claim that he didn't go to the Miller's house. That's because authorities locate surveillance video along the route from the parking lot to the Miller's home. It shows that Chisolm got into a light blue car after the parking lot meeting, and that the car then followed Miller's Jaguar to his home in Ruffin. Surveillance also traces the vehicle's movements after the murders. The car's driver stops at the Colleton County Courthouse after the killings, then goes inside to make a child support payment for her boyfriend. That enables authorities to learn her identity. It's 20-year-old Lachey Aiken, who is also charged in connection with the crime. Chisolm's girlfriend is identified as well, and initially cooperates with investigators. Because she didn't drive the getaway car, came forward voluntarily, and there was no evidence to prove that she knew what Chisolm would do at the Miller's home, she is not charged. Chisolm is tried in August of 2022. Legette presents 25 witnesses during 3 days of testimony at the Colleton County Courthouse. Among them are a DNA analyst from the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division, who tells jurors that Vincent Miller's DNA is detected on the heel of a boot Chisolm wore that day. Also testifying is a 14th Circuit Solicitor's Office Intelligence Unit investigator, Dylan Hightower, who uses phone records to place Chisolm at the crime scene. And there's one other key witness.
We had a drawing of the 9-year-old that she actually was able to create. She also gave description of the shooter to the SLED sketch artist. So she's 14 now, and she's very strong, although she was very nervous and she was frightened. And the poise and grace that she showed in the courtroom and on the witness stand Even when the defense attorney showed her a photograph of the crime scene and asked her to show him where she was standing, she was able to look at the photograph, recognize what was in the photograph, and be able to say, I was standing right here. This is the fish tank. I was standing right here in the doorway. And based on my standing in the doorway, I was able to see the man that shot me and shot my family. So it was frightening, because when I prosecute cases, I try my best to shield children. But she was strong, and she was very clear about what she saw.
On August 19, 2022, a jury finds Chisolm guilty of all charges. Circuit Court Judge Perry Buckner sentences him to 3 life sentences for the murders, plus 30 years for attempted murder. In a separate hearing in December 2021, Aiken was sentenced to 9 years in prison.
I'll say this: God is good, and God is just. And the jury they came to the right conclusion because of God's justice. The jury listened to the evidence. They listened to what Lachey had to say, and I believe it was compelling. And our 9-year-old victim, she was strong. And everything else, I think the DNA, the cell phone records, those things, I think it all played a part in their decision. So they came to the right conclusion, the right result.
Chisolm also faces charges in an unrelated double murder. As with all defendants in criminal matters, Chisolm is presumed innocent of those charges until and unless proven guilty in court. Legette is a member of the Solicitor's Office Career Criminal Unit, which prosecutes the circuit's most violent and habitual offenders. The Career Criminal Unit has earned convictions against 419 of the 451 defendants it has prosecuted since its inception in 2009.